Okay, good evening everybody and welcome back to another Marksman in the UK review, and today I will be reviewing Steel Bane, who is of course one of the new deluxes from the Transformers Last Night movie line. We'll have a look at the package and then we'll come back to we'll come back to him. So he's in this kind of premium packaging here. The only thing that I look at when I see the packaging is that, again, same as Berserker, who I previously reviewed, it's for the price point. You got this box, which, lovely artwork, lovely bit of artwork on Steel Bane there. But could he have fit in a blister? Of course he could. Of course he could. It didn't need this box, although, I guess in a couple of years' time, when you have your collection out, or, whatever, these will look pretty cool. They're pretty fantastic. They should stand the test of time, provided someone doesn't sit on them. At the top, you have that picture of Drift, Optimus, and Bumblebee, which is pretty cool. And I've got one the barcode. And then another picture of the ones that came out in the wave with him, as well as quite a good picture of Dragon Mode and Steel Bane himself there. Although obviously the colour scheme, as I'm about to show you from that picture, is quite a bit different, quite a bit more grey, I guess, than the actual toy was. So let me get rid of the box. There we go, that's how it is, rather. And here we are. Now the dragon, or the Wyvern mode, it's a bit of a mess. Obviously the whole bot mode kind of splits in half to create the dragon, or Wyvern, as it were. It's a monster. It's a beast mode. Whatever. I like some of it. I like the color scheme. The mouth opens and he's fun to play with. You can get the wings out that kind of span, but it looks a bit funny putting him in a flight mode. But just because of the way those hands are, so you can't really get him in a really good dragon-esque flying pose. Let me get these feet back in. So he's this mode isn't his strongest mode. It's not his strongest form, unfortunately. I love myself the dragon transformers, all sorts of dragon transformers. I try to get all of the, obviously, Predaking and the Predacons from the RID, Transformers Prime, sorry, toy line. I got the original RID Megatron, the purple and black dragon, the original Beast Wars, Megatron, the red one, and I've got the double cross, the double fire they brought out, and I will be getting Thermidor from the Prime line when he comes out. So it's interesting. I think a lot of people, when they looked at what was coming out for the second wave, were really quite overjoyed, quite impressed with the way this was looking, because we don't have still a lot of information at this point. If you look at the date, you'll know where I'm talking about, because the movie is yet to be released. So we don't know who Steel Bane is, what his function will be. As far as I know, just consult the packaging again. I mean, he's got Autobot symbols. He is being billed as an Autobot, but I don't think he has any Autobot symbols on him. When we transform him into robot mode again, I'll give you another look at another squiz. We will see if we can find any Autobot labels, but I don't think he's being billed as an Autobot. I think he's being billed kind of as a neutral faction that might predate Autobot and Decepticon. Let's get him off to one side, we'll give him a comparison. So here is with the first season Bumblebee, the first movie, and you know, not too bad a size. I think if I was gonna have a dragon against a car, I'd like that scale. So he scales well for me, and obviously the first movie Bumblebee was a skosh bigger than the toys that came out after him, which was cool. Let's do it with the door open. There we are. So the I believe the Bumblebee that actually come out just before him, the one from Age of Extinction, is smaller than this edition, but obviously again that will be fine because you want your dragon to be bigger than the car. So you know that size comparison, you know, works for me. Right, now let's get him transformed, and I will show you what he looks like in robot mode. Right, welcome back, and there he is, and he is glorious. I love the robot mode. I mean, this kind of, you know, the molding around here and the, you know, the detailing all across the chest is absolutely fantastic. I mean, just really brings to life that medieval sort of archaic look that I think they're going for in The Last Knight, as opposed to obviously the Dinobots, which are kind of the flagship for Age of Extinction. So he's got that, you know, medieval-esque feel to the armor and the helmet, and then he's got these great wings kind of coming out behind him, and his sword, of course. You know, what knight would not have a sword? You know, he even had these little slits down here that you can kind of slot his sword into, if you should want him to have his sword at his hip rather than in his hand. So it's great, and in this mode he really shines. He really comes out into his own. I mean, that is a lovely robot mode. My copy is a bit loose, and that's a shame. It's hard to kind of sometimes position him in a position I'd want him to be, but yeah, you know, once you get him standing, once you get him display ready, he is absolutely fantastic. Posing him can be a bit of a pain because you've got all of this stuff, you know, just lost his sword, in the way. I mean, to get him for a full arm rotation, which you can do, he does have full arm rotation, but these bits kind of can get in the way. They'll grate against this filigree armor on the front here. You do have to move the wings back. He won't obviously move his wings. Won't move his arms rather with the wings there. His legs, kinda, you can do. They will knock against it. They're not the most posable of legs. I mean, like I say, standing he's fine. Love standing. Just reattach his sword. Ooh, his legs the way around as well. So that's what I mean. You try to. I mean, he's lovely and he's well designed, but there's just so much going on, and he's not, as say, on my copy at the very least, terribly stable. He is a bit loose, and that is a bit of a pain. I would have much, you know, I know some people say you can use floor polish to tighten up those joints. I would hope to someday learn that particular skill. So I could give him a good going over. It doesn't happen with a lot of my toys, I will admit. You know, most of the things I get from Hasbro are very sturdy and very solid and very well put together, but him, unfortunately, and I know it's something that's happened with a few people. I see a few people online complaining about how he's loose, and that's a shame. That is a shame, because as I say, he is a very, very good toy in his robot mode. His robot mode is absolutely fantastic. There we go. Bit of a symmetry nut, I will admit. Bit of a symmetry nut. So let's get him onto a scale here. So we'll put him off to one side if he'll stand, and we'll bring in Berserker, his one of the deluxes from the first season. And I mean, Berserker is quite a bit bigger. Berserker, there we are. He's sit. Bad dog. There we go. He's a bit bigger than Steelbane, and I think, to be honest, Steelbane should have been a Voyager. I think the... Let's look down there. Depressed with my suggestion. I think the detail and everything, all the engineering, everything that went on to make Steelbane would have been better on a deluxe size, Voyager size rather. Because if you're gonna have something that transforms into a dragon, you want him bigger than something that transforms into an SUV. No offense. So that's a shame, because I don't like that scale. Standing on his own is absolutely fantastic, but standing against Berserker, he's not. And Berserker isn't even, he's a good size for a deluxe, don't get me wrong. But, the first series deluxes, just side swipes, the original Bumblebee, are bigger than Berserker is. So, okay, he's a good size, but in comparison to Steelbane, he is just too, he's too big to make that scale work for me. And that's a shame. So, I mean, Steelbane is usually, because, as I say, he looks so fantastic, I usually just play him by himself, without the others around. He's usually standing on the shoulders of one of my other larger bots with his wings pinioned out like some sort of angelic figure, which is cool. He looks really good again. A great mold. You can get some really good positioning out of him. But yeah, he doesn't look great when you put him with your other movie bots, because again, not only does he have this kind of medieval knight aesthetic going on, he doesn't have the sort of car and kind of modern time kibbling that's on Berserker and his other wave mates. So he just looks much different. He doesn't look like he should belong to even the same toy line at times. So it's a way to put him somewhere else. But let's get Berserker out of the way, because he's had his time in the spotlight. You've been done already. So I get back to our favourite angel. There we are, our angelic knight there, and I see they are releasing another two knight-esque looking transformers that will combine into Dragonstorm, which is great. We're looking forward to those two. So I'm interested to see how they will scale with him, and maybe, in fairness, I'm going to keep him as a dragon. When I get those two, they're going to stay as dragon mode. But it will be nice to see how they compare to Steelbane in a kind of scale-wise. Right, well, that is it from me. This is Steelbane. I picked him up from the MCM in London in May. I got him from ID Toys. If you're in the UK and you're looking for this sort of thing, I highly recommend ID Toys as a website to go to. They're always at the MCM when I go down there, and I usually find something quite nice. Did very well out of them this year. Got myself Skystalker, got the Steelbane, both toys that I've been looking for and was pleased to see. So he, as far as I know, Steelbane isn't available in the stores, him and his other wave mates, but as I go along to ID Toys, see if they've got him if you're in the UK. I think Kapow Toys as well, another UK-based Transformers dealer, they've also got him in stock, so have a check on those. So he is around. He is available from websites at the moment, so see if you can pick him up. Okay, and that is it. This is Marksman signing off. Please like and subscribe.